What's good, people? I have for you a fragrance from the extremely overpriced, overhyped, often shielded house of mind games. I have about 8 of them. I may pick up just one more, but I promise you, I'm not going to have 8 reviews saying the same thing of how they're all mass appealing. Yes, they'll get you compliments, but they're extremely overpriced and they're all worth $100. That might be true for about 6 of them, but I have at least found a couple that are good. And when you crap on a house like this, it's those sycophants and those well-wishers, those followers of influencers. Oh, that influencer wouldn't lie to me. For money, he would. They rush to the defense of their influencer, and often they'll say, whoa, oh, you don't like Blockade, but you gotta try French Defense. Or some other fragrance. Oh, but you gotta try Gambit. Those are 2 names that pop up quite frequently, and I have here Mind Games Gambit. It's a beautiful bottle, isn't it? Before I get to some of the criticisms of this fragrance, it is a gorgeous bottle. I do love the bottle. But make no mistake about it, if I bring you a Mind Games fragrance and I, like it, doesn't change the fact that it's extremely overpriced and it overall the house is a scam. And let me show you guys something. This is another house that is considered way overpriced, hyped. Influencers hyped it up. But to be honest, as expensive as these Boudicca the Victorious fragrances are, when I smell them, I smell something expensive. I smell something nice. They're overpriced as well, don't get me wrong. But I know I'm smelling something expensive. I know I'm smelling something extremely well blended. I like the compositions. And I'm just not getting that with these Mind Games fragrances. But let's set all that aside. We're going to talk about Mind Games Gambit. What is Gambit? Don't worry, people. You've already smelled Gambit. You've smelled it known as its previous name, Drakkar Noir. That's right, people. This is $400 Drakkar Noir. Let me go over the notes here. Cloves, lavender, petitgrain, cardamom, geranium, mimosa, ambrostar, patchouli, and sandalwood. Yes, it is a green fougere, extremely similar to Drakkar Noir. Better ingredients, much smoother, Drakkar Noir, which is what, a $15 fragrance. In the opening, you get the lavender and cloves combined with the petitgrain and the cardamom. Yes, it is green. It is fougere. It is Drakkar Noir. This fragrance probably had the most potential for me to just be blown away, because I'll pay $300 for a niche version of like Dior Sauvage Elixir, or even a niche version of Drakkar Noir, but it isn't even that. You get the patchouli, the sandalwood, and broxide. This is nothing new here. The only thing new, the only thing different is this odd note of mimosa. It's extremely odd. It's extremely out of place. I had to look up what the note was because it was just this weird, like white floral, powdery, dense powdery. It turns out it's a yellow floral, which I'm not surprised at all. It's odd, and as a matter of fact, I don't like the opening because of the mimosa in it. And when it does settle down, it's bearable. It's not as noticeable, and it does end up being an enjoyable fragrance, but I shouldn't have to be wearing a fragrance and like be putting up with certain parts of the fragrance. This is a $450 fragrance, and I should not be wearing a $450 fragrance, wishing I was wearing a $15 fragrance, which I did. I would rather wear Drakkar Noir than this. The only reason I would probably wear this is when I wore Drakkar Noir too much, because it is also a cheap smelling fragrance. And I wanted something a little nicer and smoother. Just to switch it up, I would wear this. Just to go out and be mindful of other people. Because I'm sure in the air, it smells a lot cleaner and a lot nicer than Drakkar Noir. I would wear this. This is the part where we got to give it some credit. Projection, solid. Longevity, lasts a long time. You are not going to have complaints about the projection and longevity of this fragrance at all. God, this fragrance, it had the most potential, but ultimately it's just like, wow, what a fumble at the goal line. How do you screw up such a simple idea of a fougere. I can't really think of like an expensive fougere that I didn't like. I'm struggling to think of like any fougere that I didn't like. Damn, Mr. Smelly's Gravitas is better than this. And any influencer that is telling you, oh, Mind Games Gambit, oh, it's in my top list. Oh, it smells so, extravagant. Like, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Like, what are you doing? This, I don't know what they're doing with this. I don't know. It's almost like I'm in Bizarro land, Bizarro world. Like, how did people smell it? They literally smell it and fall for it. Like, oh, it's so amazing. It's not amazing. It's overpriced. It's overhyped. You can buy Jakarta War at Walgreens. Do you guys know this? It's everywhere. It's not hard to find. You can buy it on Amazon. Buy that. Don't buy this. If you have so much money and you're so into fougères that you have to have a lot of different styles of fougères, and I don't know, maybe the fougères you have are missing like carnation or mimosa or a powdery note or something, and you just have to have something different. You wear 9 different fougères in your rotation, and you need to add a certain one more to it. You could probably go with this. Other than that, pass on it. I'm going to bring you a couple of fragrances that I actually do like from the House of Mind Games. Even though there's a couple of good ones in it, if you just completely pass on this house, you'll be better off skipping those 2 good ones than wasting your time with the other like 18 of them that I've tried. Mind Games Gambit is an utter failure. Maybe you want to be sold things. If you don't want any more videos of me dumping on Mind Games, because I got like at least 6 more to dump on, let me know in the comment section and I'll start bringing you the good ones. I think I'll start bringing you the good ones. Because if you don't want to see me dump on any more of these, I'll just get the 2 good ones out, do those videos, and then that'll be a wrap on this house, all right? Well, does that make everybody happy? Am I keeping the peace? Thank you guys for watching.